Happy Monday, Wellness Warriors. I trust that all of you are off to a powerful start this week. I just wanted to check in and share some of the wisdom that's still kind of coming through from this past week for me. So this past week was jam-packed. I had a really great Wellness Warrior week of just moving the mission forward, getting some really important foundational pieces in place. And I had the opportunity to celebrate with some incredible wellness warriors, Shivani Gupta from Fusion Reformulas being one of them. And I had the opportunity to meet and to speak with Joshua Rosenthal, who, if you don't know, is the founder of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. So it was just an incredible week for networking, for celebrating and being reminded of this all-important mission that us wellness warriors are on, which is sharing and spreading the health revolution. So come Friday, I was on an absolute high. I had my social cup filled up, I'd done some socializing, I'd done some exploring with Jamie Nolan. That's a whole other story. It just had been a really great week. Anyway, so come Friday, say 10:30 a.m.-ish it was, I had to deal with a disappointment. And I noticed that how, despite feeling really strong and really kind of balanced, I noticed that quite a bit of vulnerability came up, quite a bit of vulnerability and fear came up. And so it was once again a really awesome opportunity for me to check in with how I've grown and how I deal with situations like that. So something had happened, I felt disappointed, and once again a few choices presented themselves to me, as they always do. So in this instance, I noticed how I'd grown. I remembered how years ago, when I'd experienced disappointment and felt vulnerable, and when I allowed fear to creep in, I would often turn to emotional eating. I would often binge eat, I would often binge drink. I would often just keep myself from dealing with what was going on. I would resist the feelings, I would push them away, and I would convince myself that the best course of action was just to keep my chin up and to mission right through whatever feelings I was feeling. So as you can imagine, that is a sure way to really say no to yourself, right? It isn't exactly the best way of acknowledging what's going on for you, pausing long enough, breathing into whatever sensation you're experiencing, and gleaning the wisdom that comes from emotions. So as I say, in the past I had this tendency to allow my emotions to become enormous. They would literally overwhelm me. And yes, I'm human, so sometimes I still allow that to occur. And I'm happy to report that these days I'm far more aware and far more in control of the interaction I have with my emotions now. So I share this with you because we've had this ongoing conversation about being wellness warriors. The week before last, we focused in on awareness. And so this was yet another opportunity for me to really check in and see how my awareness has grown. So there I was aware of the options that I had available to me. I could go down old familiar pathways, or I could utilize the growth that's occurred. So there I sat and decided very mindfully to allow myself to do the latter. So one of the things that really supports me when I'm feeling not so great and where there's that temptation to allow my emotions to get the better of me, I journal. And so this weekend I spent some time, I journaled out my feelings, and I really allowed myself to pause, to read some of the insight that had come up for me, and to really marinate in whatever feelings were coming up for me. I also made sure that I had some happy music on standby. I made sure that I went for my nice long walks with my doggies. I made sure that I kept myself hydrated, and all of that supported me once again in just having a far more positive interaction with my emotions. So my question to you is, when you have those times where you're not feeling as strong as you could be, and you've perhaps allowed some doubt or some fear to creep in, what is your default go-to? Just take a moment now and ask yourself what your default go-to is when something disappointing happens, when you experience a strong emotion, when you perhaps experience in somebody else's strong emotion. What are your tendencies? Just notice it. There's no need to attach to it. There's no need to judge it. There's just this beautiful opportunity right now to reflect and notice what your tendencies are. And then once you have a sense of what your tendencies are, perhaps ask yourself what you could do to create a space where you can treat your emotions as the powerful, beautiful, insightful, powerful messengers that they are. What can you do? Just give yourself a moment to tap into the possibility that whatever that emotion is, stress, anger, fear, doubt, limiting self-beliefs, whatever those emotions are, how can you set things up in such a way that you can glean wisdom from them? So as I say, journaling is one for me. That's a big one for me. What is that big one for you? Really breathe into it. Well, dear one, that is my story for today. That is my invitation for you today. Remember to keep yourself hydrated. Remember to keep yourself on those back to basic principles of having nutrient-dense meals, moving every day, and doing something that fulfills your soul. Whether that's listening to happy music, whether that's connecting with a loved one, whatever that is for you. Do something that makes your soul happy today. For more information about what I'm up to, for some motivation and inspiration, please go along and visit Wanadi, which is WHANADI.com, and I will check in with you again tomorrow. Till then, rise, wellness warriors, rise. Bye now.